We often imagine evil as monstrous, screaming, violent. But in the real world, evil often wears a quiet, clean face. In 1961, political philosopher Hannah Arendt attended the trial of Adolf Eichmann, one of the architects of the Holocaust. She expected to see a monster. But what she saw shocked her: a bureaucrat. A calm, tidy man. A diligent employee. Who simply said, "I was just following orders." And this moment gave birth to one of the most haunting ideas in modern thought: the banality of evil. Arendt realized something terrifying, that evil doesn't always arise from hatred or malice. It often stems from thoughtlessness. Eichmann wasn't full of rage. He was full of indifference. He did not think. He obeyed. He saw himself as a function. A cog. Not responsible for consequences, only for doing his job. And that's the beginning of real danger. When ordinary people stop thinking, evil begins to function smoothly. The gray zone is not about villains. It's about silence. It's about those who are not evil, but not good either. It's about those who say, "I'm neutral. I don't want to get involved. It's not my business." They are not the hand of oppression, but they are the hands that hold the door open for it. Arendt wrote, "The sad truth is that most evil is done by people who never make up their minds to be either good or evil." Let's come to today. In Iran, when a woman is brutally arrested, and people just walk by, that is the gray zone. When someone dies for demanding basic rights, and you scroll past it like it's another headline, that is the gray zone. In Turkey, when journalists, teachers, students are jailed for expressing ideas, and their peers remain silent out of fear, that's the gray zone too. In the West, when bombs fall in foreign lands, and citizens say, "Well, that's politics, not my problem," that's the same indifference that lets injustice flourish. Gray people are everywhere. And their silence is the loudest fuel for oppression. Because it's easy. Because it's safe. Because it's comfortable. Because they believe the biggest lie of all: as long as I'm not doing anything bad, I'm a good person. But evil doesn't need you to be cruel, it just needs you to be silent. And most societies are not destroyed by devils, they collapse under the weight of silence. Immanuel Kant said, "Enlightenment is man's emergence from his self-imposed immaturity." He warned that refusing to think for yourself is the root of moral failure. He taught us, use your own reason. Not your party's. Not your society's. Not the media's. But how many of us today really think? Or are we outsourcing thought to trends, ideologies, or fear? To be gray is to abandon thinking. And that's where darkness begins. Martin Heidegger, Arendt's mentor, wrote endlessly about authenticity and thought. But when Nazis rose to power, he remained silent, even supportive. Arendt felt betrayed. Not just by a man, but by a mind. Because even the greatest philosophers, if they don't act when it matters, can become just another shade of gray. When a colleague is mistreated and you say nothing. When corruption is exposed, and you look away. When someone is humiliated, and you stay neutral. When a regime kills truth, and you just scroll on. That's the gray zone. Not evil. Just empty. But that emptiness is what lets evil breathe. The American Revolution wasn't led by politicians, it began with shopkeepers, farmers, printers. The French Revolution wasn't born in palaces, it began with hungry mothers, angry workers, students. None of them said, "What can one person do?" They simply refused to stay gray. And that refusal changed history. Today, we ask, who among us will say no to silence? Maybe where you live today, there is comfort. Maybe there is justice, security, and dignity, and you feel safe. But this message is not just about suffering. It's about preventing its return. Because any society, no matter how advanced, can slide into darkness when its people stop thinking, stop caring, and choose silence over resistance. The gray zone is not just a danger. It is the beginning of every historical tragedy. Don't let those days come back. Don't let your indifference become someone else's nightmare. Hannah Arendt once said, "The most terrifying thing about evil is that it often comes from people who don't think at all." We live in a time when silence is encouraged, where people are rewarded for not asking questions, where entertainment is endless, but awareness is rare. But silence is a position. Neutrality is a choice. And every choice you make is either a wall or a window. Here at FactUp Realm, we are not here to entertain you. We're here to wake you up. We don't shout. We ask. We think. And we challenge you to do the same. If you're tired of being gray, if you're ready to think, to speak, to be human in a world of masks, then this space is for you. Because the world doesn't need more noise, it needs more minds. So ask yourself, are you just another quiet shadow in the crowd? Or are you finally ready to break the silence?